Hey everybody, this is Christina, the Amputee OT. In this video, I am going to show you what my matured residual limb looks like. Okay, so I know that there are some people out there in YouTube land who have not seen what a residual limb looks like. And there are other people I know out there in the wider world, maybe not watching my videos, who are kind of squicked out or grossed out by a residual limb and by looking at a residual limb. And so for me, showing what my residual limb looks like in detail can hopefully help people who are amputees know what their residual limb might look like. It might help people who are a little bit squicked out by residual limbs to be a little bit more comfortable with the idea of a residual limb. And it's just nice to be educated on what my leg looks like. So obviously the first step to showing you what my residual limb looks like is to take off my liner. Okay, so from a distance you can see, here's my leg. Got my clothes kind of in the way. What you might notice at first is that it's really super floppy. And this is just one of the ways that a person's residual limb might look like. You might find that a person who has a residual limb has a lot of scar tissue, or maybe puckering, or indentations, or skin grafts, or other things that I don't have. Everybody's residual limb is going to look a little bit different, so if yours does not look exactly like mine, don't worry, it'll be fine. And if yours does look exactly like mine, then yay, we're leg twins. Come a little closer. Alright, so now that you're a little bit closer, we'll check out some things. So first you'll notice I've got a scar. It starts over here and it goes all the way over to there. And so when my leg was amputated, they obviously cut it all the way around in kind of a C shape, and then when they sutured it back together, it left this scar. I've actually had my leg operated on twice. The first was the initial amputation, and the second was a revision where they did a myodesis. And then it sort of changes direction a little bit and it goes down here. This is the additional scar from when they did the nerve transfer. If you check out here, you'll see that I have a partial tattoo. This is was a phoenix, and obviously the phoenix got mostly amputated, and so that's all that's left of my poor little phoenix. Over here I have another tattoo. This tattoo is actually a artistic representation of a magic trick that Teller from Penn & Teller does called Shadow Flower, and it has been significantly modified. Like, this used to be basically a canvas that was square, and this is a vase, and now instead of being square, it's kind of got bent in here. Kind of looks like a weird Photoshop. I don't have any tattoos in here. Alright, now we can get all up, way up in my business. I had my last surgery revision on my residual limb in February, so it's been almost a year since I last had surgery on this leg. And so you can see that I am fully healed. My scar is fully healed. If you look over here, you can see there's like a little bit of a dimple right there. And then right here, there's a little tiny bit of a dog ear. And then if you look closely right here, you can see there's these lines that go perpendicular to the scar. Those lines are from the staples and the sutures. So I am able to move my residual limb. So what I'm going to do right now is pretend that I'm straightening both of my knees so you can see how my muscles move. I straighten my knee, and I bend my knee. I straighten my knee, and I bend my knee. Straighten it, bend it. Straighten it, bend, straighten it, bend, straighten it, bend, straighten it, bend. I can also do internal and external rotation of my hip, which is this movement like this. So I'm going to do it with both. Out and in, out and in. Let's do this one. Out and in, out and in. So you can see my muscles moving under my skin. But to be honest, there's a lot of excess tissue on my residual limb that you may have noticed. Like this right here on the end is just fat and skin. And a lot of this is just fat and skin. And probably sometime in early next year, I'm going to have this skin and fat reduced on my residual limb, which does mean another surgery, but it's so floppy now that it's hard to contain all of this volume, and it makes it hard to use my prosthesis. And so hopefully when I get this residual limb, all this excess tissue removed, I'll be able to fit my prosthesis better. But right now it's really floppy. Super floppy. It's like just a skin tube. Flaps around. I can fold it up here. Squish it in a lot. And you can see my leg is not very sensitive. So I can touch and squish and massage all of my residual limb with no issues with sensitivity or anything like that. Right here is my greater trochanter. I can feel it. You cannot because you're watching. You can see when I rotate my hip. You can see when I rotate my femur and do internal and external rotation, you can see it move. And then the shaft of the femur goes down here, and then the end of my femur is right here. So you can see there's all this extra tissue that is going to come off. It's impacting my ability to use a prosthesis. I can literally smack myself in the belly. I'm clapping. Here is the sound of one nub clapping. So you can see when I put my liner back on that my liner does a pretty good job of containing all of the excess volume that I have in my residual limb and containing all of that tissue. Now you can see with my liner on, all of that tissue is compressed and contained so that I can wear my prosthesis. But it still could be better, which is why I'm probably going to have another procedure on my limb to get rid of all that excess tissue. It's not really something I'm looking forward to because I won't be able to use my prosthesis for like 6 weeks probably, and then I will have to get a whole new socket made and all that stuff. But for my long-term ability to use my prosthesis effectively, it's something that needs to be done. And that is what a matured residual limb looks like. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye!